is ESPN on ABC.
Is it turned up? The tide is rolling. Whiteout conditions in Tuscaloosa tonight for a mammoth showdown with Tennessee. Alabama with its eye on bringing a third conference title in 4 years to Sweet Home. Come home to Tuscaloosa these days, they expect winning basketball, and tonight, first place in the SEC on the line. Bama, Tennessee on ESPN tonight. College Game Day on ABC right now. Yeah. The destination is elite, and there is nothing like it. This place is alive. There's not a better place in college basketball.
Look what's in his water bottle.
We are the true blue blood.
You all knew I was going to shoot a logo 3.
Let's have some fun this morning. Craziest bunch of brainiacs you've ever seen.
Welcome to College Game Day live from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, covered by State Farm.
The third Saturday in October is a storied rivalry in college football. First Saturday of March isn't bad with the Crimson Tide and the Volunteers playing for first place in the SEC. What an electric crowd here. Our 20th season of College Game Day basketball on the road, and our first time to Tuscaloosa. And man, have they shown up alongside Jay Billis, Seth Greenberg, Jay Williams, Andrea Carter. I am merely Reese Davis. Andrea, I know you and I are fully aware of what hard hats are. They call it blue-collar basketball at Alabama for these three. Hard hats are what people who work for a living often have to wear. I know you wouldn't be familiar.
Wow. I've heard of that.
Yes. I thought you always have to go to work, don't you?
You will not put that over that beautiful shell you
No, he will not.
I promise you.
No, it'd mess up my toupee.
Exactly.
You called this place a tennis match.
I did, and you gave me a challenge, and I've always wanted to do this one.
Okay, here we go. What do you got? Oh, no. Yes. Spotting. Yes.
Keep it going. Show me you're committed. Show me you want to do it. Be better. Let's go.
There's going to be a ride out tonight. We got the two leading contenders for SEC Player of the Year. And Jay, one thing to watch on a full day of college basketball as we get closer and closer to Selection Sunday.
Well, right after we're off the air, Kansas is taking on Baylor in Waco, and the matchup to watch is going to be the point guard position. Baylor's Ray J. Dennis going against DeJuan Harris of Kansas. In the first game, Ray J. Dennis, who is leading the league in assists, had 3 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 turnovers, while DeJuan Harris got the better of him. Ray J. Dennis has to have his best game against Kansas today.
Houston at Oklahoma. You're talking about Kelvin Sampson going back home, but what to watch for is that Houston defense. It is relentless. They turn you over about a quarter of possessions. They run you off the three-point line. This is an Oklahoma team that struggled against Iowa State's defense. They might have a problem with Houston's. I'm just going to reiterate, the Gales are going to win the WCC, something that you don't say all the time, and they're going to win it. And look, Gonzaga has a fight on their hands, a game on the road. Mr. Anton Watson, not Mr. Randy Watson, but Mr. Anton Watson needs to have that game today.
We got a top 15 matchup, Marquette going to Creighton, and this is opposite of Billis. What we're gonna watch is the battle on the inside. Ryan Kalkbrenner and Oso Ighodaro. In the first matchup, they almost canceled each other out. They were limited, they struggled. I wanna see who gets the better of the bigs in this game.
And another top 15 matchup here, and the one thing to watch, is Alabama's Aaron Estrada, who transfer had a triple-double earlier this week against Ole Miss. He needs to be a secondary scoring threat for Mark Sears, and if he gets switched off on Tennessee star Dalton Knecht, somebody's got to try to slow down that high-scoring player of the year candidate. Now, the SEC is highly competitive. Tennessee and Alabama are tied for first place, but the Vols won the first meeting in Knoxville. South Carolina's still in it. They're just underway playing. We'll get you up to date on that. That's how the tournament would look right now. Of course, the season is not over. Still another week in the regular season. So who is, big picture, NCAA tournament, who's the most dangerous team in the SEC?
It's Tennessee, man.
It's Tennessee.
Tennessee, period. I mean, look, they can get booed. You know, one of the things that we use sometimes with Houston, too, is talking about their defense and their inability to score. Tennessee, they bring that grit. They bring that tenacity. Now, they can also lose here this evening. That can happen because this conference is that deep and it's that challenging. But with the way Dalton Knecht is playing right now and the way that their guards defend, the way that Adu does a good job down low, I think Tennessee's a team that can win a national championship. I firmly believe it.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to go with Tennessee, too, because they've got a go-to guy. We've talked about Tennessee's always needed a go-to scorer down the stretch. They have that in Dalton Knecht. He's been on fire. And the thing about Dalton Knecht is he can hit tough shots over high hands, over high contests. He can bring the ball down the floor. So if his guards are struggling, he can get the ball, bring it down the floor, and get his own shot in the way they play defense. You can hang your hat on the defensive end when your offense is struggling, and that's something that Kentucky and Alabama can't always do. Those two teams don't have as strong of a defensive force. I know the fans hate it, but Tennessee, they've got a go-to guy, and they've got defense, and those are things you need.
I think you're shortchanging Tennessee because Jonas Adu in the last 5 games, they've won 5 in a row, 17 points a game, 9 rebounds. Ty Ziegler has been terrific the last 5, 11.7 assists a game. As long as he makes good decisions to take care of the ball, I think that Tennessee is a pretty good choice.
They're by far the most balanced team. You know, the best defense and their offense is top 10 in the country, top 11. Auburn is a very balanced team. Alabama is the most explosive offensive team.
Yeah.
So they can outscore you without concern for defense. Now, if their defense gets a little bit better as we go toward the NCAA tournament, I think those 3 teams are Elite 8, Final Four capable. The one thing that's interesting to me, we talk a lot about best conference. And I think the Big 12 is the best top to bottom. The SEC is the best at the top. They've got more teams that are going to challenge in March when we get to the NCAA tournament than any other league.
We talk Alabama, we talk Tennessee, we talk Auburn. There's kind of a blue blood I think we're missing here.
Poor old Kentucky.
Poor old Kentucky, Reese Davis.
They weren't poor old against Alabama last year.
No, they were pretty good, only 117. But when you look at this Kentucky team, they've grown up in the last few weeks. And they grew up in the Mississippi State game. Think about it. They go to Mississippi State, start of the game, bam, they get punched in the face. They make a little run, they get back in the game. Wagner makes a big 3 at the end of the half. Beginning of the second half, bam, they get punched in the face. And you know what happens? They responded. Down 8, 9 points. They go to basically what they call circle 2, which is basically using those 2 screeners on the baseline and giving Antonio Reeves a chance to come off it. He comes off this screen, he's chasing, he's going to curl up, maybe a post up, maybe a shot. They look to reverse the ball, and then basically Reeves is one-on-one game reading the screen. He waits, he comes off the second side, the defender goes high side. What does he do? He bumps it back, bam, 40% three-point shooter. When they struggle scoring, that's what they're going to go to. Then we know in transition, Kentucky's ridiculous. A little delayed drag screen, which is basically Big Zeke setting the screen at the top. What does Reed Shepard do? He rejects the screen. You got to stay home on the right side on Reeves. Adu makes a good cut to the front of the rim. This is a Kentucky team, and right there is why I think they're getting better. Because you know what? They have a collective responsibility. They celebrate each other. They appreciate what each other brings to the table. Whether it's Antonio Reeves, whether it's Justin Edwards, whether it's Reed Shepard. They have a lot of dudes. And you know what you always say, RD? The team with the most dudes usually finds a way to win.
Yeah, especially with a guy like Reed Shepard down the stretch. I mean, he was prolific in that Mississippi State game.
Ooh,
what a play at the end of the game.
And even like DJ Wagner, you could tell as a scorer, DJ Wagner is RD. We talked about this. He wanted to get that thing up, and he saw Reed. He's like, let me make the right basketball play here, and that's what Reed Shepard is.
And I think Trey Mitchell possibly being able to come back could be huge for Kentucky because you had that LSU game when LSU went on that monstrous run. What did they need? A veteran guy to slow things down, to make a good decision. So Trey Mitchell potentially being back in the lineup after missing games with an injury, he makes them a little bit older of a team. They're not that young Kentucky team with him on the floor.
Dude, Fierro, don't you think like he's like the little missing piece? Because he's got a little, like, I love Trey Mitchell.
He has edge.
Oh, yeah.
Dude's got a little edge. He's got a little nasty to him, and they need a little nasty to him in their front court.
Well, he injects strength and athleticism at that position. He can guard multiple spots, but what he can really do, he's not a shooter, but he can drive it. And when he starts getting downhill and drawing help, he can create three-point shots for his teammates. And Kentucky offensively, it's Kentucky and Alabama as the two best offensive teams in the league. They are both spectacular. If their defense, just like Alabama, I think Kentucky's defense is a little bit better than Alabama because they can protect the rim. They've got shot blocking that Alabama doesn't have. But if their defense continues to improve, I agree.
How much better do you think their defense has to get? I mean, like, they're going to drop 85 to 90 every night. I mean, like, they got to improve their on-ball defense and their ball screen defense. But, like, they've just got to be basically do the tough things more consistently. If they do that, they're a problem.
10, 15% better, and they're good.
Andre and I are just looking up here at the banners. I mean,
Yeah.
all Alabama's done win 2 of the last 3 regular seasons and 2 of the last 3 tournaments.
Yep. Just saying.
You know?
Nate Oates, he's that guy.
These people come out, they welcome you, Seth. You're wearing your Wimp Sanderson coat. Tribute.
If this is going to be the first college game day in Tuscaloosa, I had to pay tribute to the godfather of Alabama basketball, and that is the great Wimp Sanderson. Had to wear the coat.
Got the plaid. Nato said he's got something special for tonight.
Not even Wimp Sanderson would wear this.
We'll talk more Alabama, Tennessee later on, and of course, coming up at the top of the hour here on ABC, it will be Kansas and Baylor, top 15 matchup. Countdown to tip-off is brought to you by Wendy's. Don't forget to order your delivery before game time. You've got not too much longer until we get things started. Let's check it out. Fran Fraschilla with an update on Kevin McCullough with Bill Self.
Big 12 have winning records on the road. Why this particular year is it so difficult?
Well, I think it's difficult most every year, but when you have your road games are against top 20 opponents, it makes it a little bit tougher to win away from home. And you know, we've had our failures on the road too, but hopefully today will be a breakthrough day for us.
What's the status of Kevin McCullough?
He's going to try to go. He's practiced the last 2 days, has been as close to full speed as you can and been pain-free. So we're going to see what he can do today.
Good luck.
All right, thanks.
Boy, that is what we call breaking news. Kevin McCullough going to give it a shot. Coming up inside College Game Day, Zach Edey has found a way to improve after a sensational season last year. Billis is going to tell you why. Plus, Christy Williamson caught up with Mark Sears, the Crimson Tide star. Little burger outing at Ramajamma just down the street here from Coleman Coliseum. An Alabama freshman, Avion Cooley, going to have a chance to be our 3rd State Farm half-court shot winner. Christine, is he going to make it?
I don't know. I just was asking him if he was nervous, and he looked at me and he said, yeah. And I was like, why? He said he doesn't know. I'm going to make you a little bit more nervous. There were 2 half-court shots made in our last show.
Okay.
One for $19,000. Okay. How do you feel knowing that?
I'm going to be the 3rd person to make it.
There we go. Okay.
Confident? He's very confident.
Yeah.
I do want to say, though, Avion, so obviously it's $19,000. You probably haven't made a half-court shot for $19,000 before. Also, Bama hasn't won a national championship. Which one would you prefer?
A national championship for Bama, but hey, how about we get both of them? How about we get both? Let's go.
All right, we'll see if he's able to do it, and we'll see. You don't seem nervous at all, so we'll see if he's able to work off those nerves. More College Game Day comes up after this.
All right.
College Game Day is covered by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And in part by Wendy's, the official hamburger of the NCAA. Grab a Dave single for $1 with the Wendy's app offer.
Iconic Denny chimes on campus. Football captains are immortalized with their cleat prints beneath Denny chimes. Some pretty big sneakers to fill around here these days with the way Crimson Tide has.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will see Reese Davis attempting a 3-point shot and knocking it down. Nothing but cash money out here for our fearless leader, Mr. Davis.
Thank goodness you didn't show the first 2. But hey,
He
man,
didn't get a C note on
hey,
it?
you know what? 33%'s not bad from behind the arc.
No, it's not.
I just can't believe they booed you after you're like,
I know
give me a
about
break.
that. Time now for the Wooden Watch presented by Principal. Zach Edey somehow improved on his efficiency from last season, trying to become the first back-to-back Wooden Award winner since Ralph Sampson with Virginia. Only Big Ten player in the last 25 years to average 20 points on 60% shooting, and he's done it a couple of times. And this Purdue team is the only team that's been ranked in the top 5 all season because there's been all kinds of upheaval and turmoil in the rankings. So you think Zach Edey's even better than he's been? How is he?
I think he's significantly better than he made a quantum leap from his sophomore to junior year last year when he was National Player of the Year. He's even better this year. He's more poised in the post. His mobility has improved, so he can now run out, set a ball screen, come back. Let's take a look at his mobility now. This was not what he was doing last year. Against Michigan, he's going to run out and set a ball screen for Braden Smith, and then he's going to roll back to the basket. But watch how the defense is going to react. Michigan here is going to be in drop coverage. They are not up to touch and guarding the ball. So the defense is just to the side of Braden Smith. So you got to stay with the ball a little more. That means that Zach Edey is going to be able to roll down to the rim. There's going to be a tag guy, but he's not going to bump him that hard. And he's got a perfect angle here. He should get the ball right over the top. He doesn't. But Michigan does a good job pushing him off the lane here. Last year, he would not have been able to score from this position. But he's going to try to look middle, looks for the defense to see is it coming, and then he takes a step middle and then a big drop step to get the angle and go to the basket, get fouled, and score. You would not have seen him do that last year. He's improved greatly. And what I think is really interesting, look, he's going to be the National Player of the Year again this year. The first time since Ralph Sampson did it in the 80s that someone's gone back-to-back. And because it's been kind of a no-brainer, we haven't really talked about him as much and his impact. He does so much to get his teammates open. He plays on both ends of the floor. He blocks shots. He's a big-time rebounder. He gets over 4 offensive rebounds a game. But he's the only player in the country that you have to change your entire game plan in order to deal with. Like Alabama's going to have to make a lot of adjustments for Dalton Knecht tonight with Tennessee, but they don't have to change their whole game plan. You play against Zach Edey, you got to change the whole thing. Only player in the country that does that to you.
I don't know if it's a no-brainer. I mean, look, I think Zach Edey's probably going to win it, but I think Dalton Knecht makes one hell of a case. And you can change the conversation to, if you were drafting a player to start your basketball franchise right now in college, who would you draft? And for me, guards win championships, and that's proven by the numbers, okay? Like 13 of the last 15 championships, the Final 4 MVPs have been guards or wings. It's only been 2 times they've been bigs. So Zach Edey is a dominant presence. He deserves his flowers. Like I said, he probably will win National Player of the Year. But he's going to need Braden Smith, and he's going to need Fletcher Lawyer and these guys to play well from the outside. I look at Dalton Knecht, and if people want to say, if you want to talk about Vescovi, you want to talk about some of their other guards and the way they play, fine. But this dude's dropping 39 on Florida. He's dropping 39 the other night against Auburn in the big-time game. And to see him come up through the draft and be a potential first pick in the draft, it's like the perfect culmination of a great college player meeting with the potential of who he could be at the next level as well. That's how I feel.
And that's fair. He's more exciting. He's absolutely more exciting. So is R.J. Davis at North Carolina. So is Mark Sears here. They're more exciting. None of them are as impactful. None of them.
But what do you mean by impactful? Like defensively?
Okay, first of all, he averages more points than Dalton Knecht does.
Okay, who's the better conference?
Dalton Knecht doesn't rebound.
Okay, who's in a better conference?
Who beat him when they played head-to-head?
That's agreed, but they're allowed. But look, first off, in the better conference against guards and wings, I'm not saying he's going to be National Player of the Year.
You
know you have a no, it's good for JB and I. We're getting out.
He is the better college player. But he's the better college player.
If you were picking a player, any player, either of those two or someone else, to build your team around to try to win a national championship in college this year, where would you start?
In college?
In college.
On a team in college, it's really hard for me to pick a center because you need guards to get you the ball on the inside. However, where Zach Edey has the advantage also, in my opinion, is the way that defenses foul him. The way he puts pressure on defenses and gets other teams in foul trouble, that's a huge difference. His defense is a big difference, and I would think for college, I would go with Zach Edey because no one has an answer for him.
No one has an answer for Edey. To Andrea's point, Edey has shot 300 free throws. Dalton Knecht 160.
He averages
and he shot a lot of free throws, but he gets fouled per 40 minutes. He's fouled 9 times a game. There's nobody that has that kind of impact in the
The
college.
I just want to make sure I'm having the right
difference for me.
conversation. I said that Zach Edey will win National Player of the Year. If I were having a draft, I love the versatility of who Dalton Connect is, how he scores offensively, and I agree with you on the matchup with Zach Edey. I just think it's going to be interesting to see how those guards do and how Zach Edey does when the guards have to get him the ball in those positions on the floor when he gets to the tournament.
Point guards are the most important thing in terms of NCAA tournament, in terms of someone to get him the ball. But Zach Edey is different than anyone else in terms of defensive game plan. There are guys like Dalton Connect. You can go trap him, get the ball out of his hands, deny him the ball back. I mean, if you just want to take him out of the game, you can take him out of the game. He comes off a ball screen, boom, you trap him. Crosses half court, you run a second defender at him, he throws out, you deny him the ball back. You can't game plan for what Zach Edey does because there's no one else like him. Ball goes into the post, you can double him, he can throw out of it a 5-on-4, but keeping him off the offensive glass, he averages like 4 or 5 offensive rebounds a game. You can't game plan for a guy that just wedges, puts his arm up, catches it, and lays it in. So we've seen Dalton Connects. We have not seen anyone like Zach Edey in a very, very long time because the game has changed so much. We see stretch fives. We don't see low post guys that can dominate at 7-5.
Will it translate?
But they haven't had success in the tournament yet, and that is significant. Purdue with Zach Edey plays Michigan State later on tonight. You know, there is a guy who's pretty impactful, and I think you have to be impactful if you can miss 14 consecutive shots over 2 games and still have a huge impact on your team winning. That's Jamal Shead of the #1 team in the country in Houston. And Houston today plays at Oklahoma. That is significant because Kelvin Sampson, who took the Sooners to the Final Four 22 seasons ago, is going back to Norman to coach for the first time. Now, he did return where both of his children graduated. 2 of his assistants at Houston are former Oklahoma players in Hollis Price and Quantas White. So there are going to be some emotions today for Houston, the #1 team, as they go into Oklahoma. They go back. It's the first time he's ever coached against the Sooners. Are they on the same level, Houston, as UConn, Purdue? Are they there because of the offensive concern?
Yes, I mean, they're in the top tier. I think it's UConn 1, I think Purdue, Houston, and then Arizona are in that top tier. And I think Tennessee is just a shade behind, but right there. I like all those teams a little bit separated, but all of them could lose in the Elite 8 or Sweet 16. It's possible given a matchup. Houston has a couple of lulls here and there on the offensive end. They can be streaky at times. They are not a great free throw shooting team, but they lead the nation in playing hard. Nobody plays harder than them, and nobody's tougher. And their toughness is personified in Jamal Shead. I mean, if we were to ask who's the toughest player in the country, I don't know that we'd come up with a definitive answer, but Jamal Shead's name would be mentioned first.
I called their game Tuesday night, and he was controlling the game on the defensive end and passing, and he couldn't buy a basket to save his life. And also, they lead the nation in 10-0 runs.
Yeah.
One of the analytics guys came up.
Well, their defense is phenomenal. When you think about Purdue and what a couple of their losses, when they lost to Ohio State had 22 points off of turnovers. When they lost to Nebraska had 18 points off of turnovers. Houston is a team that can score 20, 18, 22 points off of turnovers. They fight so hard. And I know you talk about Jamal Shead, but Francis and Roberts on the inside are tough too. I know they're not great on the offensive side, but the way they use their length to defend and protect the rim, Houston and their defense makes up for any offensive lulls that they have because their defense is phenomenal.
Look, to win an NCAA tournament, you got to win games in a variety of ways, and I think Houston can do that. Defense travels. We talk about that all the time. Offensively, they have some games, but they also have some games where they can score now. Jamal Shead can lead, so Houston's going to be there when it matters.
My biggest concern is what you mentioned earlier. That's their lulls offensively. Look, they average 33 points a game off second chance points and turnovers. But lost to Iowa, they went 6 minutes without scoring. Close game to Cincinnati, 5 minutes without scoring. They lost to Kansas. They had 3 different times where they had 3-minute droughts. The one team who's just separated, and you said it, Jay, is that Connecticut. Because they don't have to rely on one guy. If one guy struggles, another guy steps up. If you look at this season, they've had different guys no-show in certain games. Key players, great players. Yet they always have someone who can step up and defensively they are getting really good with clinging.
The one thing about Houston, I don't think anybody beats them the first weekend of the Sweet 16. If they get beat, it's going to be in the Elite Eight or beyond. I don't think they're subject to some of
Where
these
people
early-
take care of the ball.
You know, one of the things, they don't shoot it well from 2 or 3 or the free throw line, as you mentioned, but the one thing that you do notice, the 3 guys who handle the ball for them, they are good free throw shooters, keeping those bigs off the line in those close games later on. Women's College Game Day comes your way tomorrow from Iowa City. Caitlin Clark chasing the NCAA scoring record. Caitlin Clark is just selling out arenas all over the place. You get a chance to see her, Andrea, tomorrow.
Can't wait.
Number 6 against number 2, Iowa and Ohio State. Christine has someone who I think is quite popular in this locale. With
This guy. We got Jalen Milroe delivering Dreamland Barbecue to you guys. What a special surprise, a special delivery. Wait, we're going this way, to the right, to the left, this way. He can't drive.
I got it, Jalen. What we got, Jalen? What we got?
All right, so we got some barbecue for you guys.
I'm hungry.
You guys, I don't know. We haven't. Should we carry this together? You grab that.
we can
wait. I wouldn't pick it up for myself. Okay, it's again. It's okay.
I'm coming to get it if you don't
There you
know.
go.
How you doing?
Jalen, first game day that you've ever got to experience yourself. How do you feel about it? It's pretty lit in here, right?
It is.
Yeah. Okay, you guys eat barbecue. Jalen is going to come over here with me because we have some footballs and some basketballs. You're going to do a half-court shot. I'm going to let you choose your weapon of choice. Which one would you go with?
You're on the basketball court. No, you're on the basketball court. You put that down. You put that down right now. I do basketball.
I feel like the crowd didn't feel that, but we're going to see if he can make it at half court because he says he gets buckets.
Wait, I think he should
believe
throw it in with the football. I want to see him do it with the football.
He said he can hoop.
I mean, try like this.
Let a naysayer know.
All right.
All right.
Let him know.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Stretch it out a little bit. Okay.
No pressure. Hey,
Come on, this is only an hour
First
show.
try. You got to get
Take your time, Jalen.
Oh, he like set up to it. Wait, get a running start.
One more.
I got another one.
One more. I believe in you.
One more.
A little running start.
Let's see it. You got 10 seconds, bro.
And, he really is shooting it.
Oh.
Can you do a football?
You guys aren't giving him the air ball chance.
Throw it out of here.
How rude.
I got a touchdown.
He tried. More College Game Day coming up after this.
You're watching College Game Day, covered by State Farm.
Going to be loud in here tonight in the middle of Crimson Chaos. Mark Sears leading the Crimson Tide. That's in prime time, 8 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. North Carolina and North Carolina State at 4, Duke and Virginia. After that, North Carolina and Duke on target to play for the ACC regular season title next Saturday. Don't forget, coming up, top of the hour here on ABC is Wendy's Countdown to Tip-Off. Don't forget, get your order in before 34 minutes and 37 seconds elapse. There's Hunter Dickinson leading the Jayhawks on the road as we go down to Christine.
Yeah, Reese, we've said it 17 million times today. I feel like we know that Alabama is a football school, right? 18 championships, not at all easy to win. It's also probably not very easy being the team that lives in the shadow of those championships. But Bama guard Mark Sears believes that this is actually also a basketball school. I feel like you guys agree with that. Yeah, of course. So I got to talk to him yesterday about that at a place that oozes football tradition. What's the vibe at Rama Jamma?
Tradition here, a bunch of Bama fans, just come in and grab a bite to eat.
Coach Oates, not too long ago, said that you guys are a championship school. What does that mean to you as a player?
We win, and that's something that this program does a very great job of.
We know that Alabama is a football school. Why is Bama also a basketball school?
Alabama will cut down the nets in the SEC tournament.
Taking the SEC by storm, we have won 2 out of the past 4 SEC titles.
There is a burger here and a sandwich here that is for the football team.
It's a lot of bacon.
So we're gonna watch Mark eat this. If you were to think of a food item that you would want Rama Jamma to create in honor of the men's basketball team, what would you make?
Same bread, and the bacon for the championships. I don't know how many exactly we won, but I would start off with the bacon and just as a numbers.
If you were to look at a cheeseburger and say that this is what our team represents, like how would you describe your team?
I say we're very saucy. The way we put points on the board is very fashionable, I say.
When you think about your journey as a basketball player, what do you think the biggest lesson has been?
Always playing with a chip on my shoulder. It also just taught me how to work hard, even harder. That brought it on to this year's program.
Your first Alabama basketball game in 7th grade. What do you remember about going to that game?
Levi Randolph was here. They played Kentucky, and it was a home game, and it was a surreal moment to be able to to experience that, to now being in the game. It's a moment that I will forever cherish.
Do you think you guys are one of the best teams in the country?
I do. I believe we're one of the best teams in the SEC and the country.
You think you're winning the SEC this year?
Confident, yes.
Okay, so are you going to eat this burger now?
Yeah, ready to get it.
Order up.
He did, in fact, not eat the entire sandwich, but he is here now, sitting right next to Coach Oates, who, by the way, Coach Oates likes to say that this is a championship school. After Mark went to that game when he was in 7th grade, he wrote down on a sticky note that he was going to an SEC school, which he did that part. He still hasn't won the championship, so we'll see if he's able to fulfill that dream.
Christine, he's been sensational all season long. It'll be a great test tonight against the Big Orange. We are in the middle of the Crimson Chaos, ready to play a little game day grab bag. Random topics. We'll spin that wheel. They'll yell stop, and whatever question comes up, they have to answer. Andrea, you're up first.
And stop. Team flying under the radar that could make a tournament run. Well, Alabama's not under the radar. We're going to go. No, who's saying Alabama? Y'all are not under the radar. You're not under the radar. Everybody knows about Roll Tide Roll. And I'm going to go, the team you mentioned earlier, St. Mary's. St. Mary's is a team flying under the radar. They're undefeated in their conference. They're undefeated on the road. They could make a tournament run. That's my team.
Jay Will, you're up, kid.
Keep going, stop. College hoops player that would make the best college QB. You guys want me to say Mark Sears? He can shoot that thing. I'm probably going to go with the 6'3" point guard that plays for Marquette, Tyler Cole. I would probably say just his vision, the way he sees the floor. I see that translating to the football field. I'll go Tyler Cole.
All right, Tyler Cole from Marquette. They've got a big game today, as Andrea talked about earlier. Seth, you're up.
Stop. Coach, you'd like to have a cigar.
Now the whole thing is, remember, Alabama, Tennessee, there's the victory cigar tradition. Oh, you're ready for this.
Oh, Coach Saban?
I would say Coach Saban.
Yeah. Any coach.
Yeah. The process, the standard, the legacy, everything he stands for, that would be a fascinating time to have a cigar, a little Tito's, kick back.
A little Tito's.
Get educated.
Maybe a gummy, let's do the whole thing.
Don't leave out the good details. You were a little nervous when you met Coach Saban.
I'm very nervous when I met Coach Saban. Only 2 people in my life. You are one of them.
I'm concerned about the academic fraud. Somebody got the questions in advance. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep
Every
going,
time.
keep going.
Where's the map?
Over or under 1.5 more meetings between UNC. So basically it's asking, will Duke and Carolina meet in the ACC tournament and or the NCAA tournament? I'm going to say over. I think they're going to meet at least once more the next week when we go to Durham for Duke and Carolina. Or at least we should go there. I don't know if we're going there. Are we going?
Did you just drop?
Speaking of having the answer before the questions are asked on the test, next week, College Game Day will come from Cameron Indoor Stadium, where Duke and North Carolina will play. Tar Heels opened up a can in the first meeting. This could be for the outright ACC championship in the regular season for the first time since 2012. That's hard to believe it's been that long. Christine, who have you got with you now?
Oh, you know this guy. He is the head coach of Alabama's men. It is fun. Nate Oates. We got the fire. I mean, that was pretty special, right?
I'm usually on the side. I don't usually come through the fire. That's for the players.
Fancy, for a very fancy guy. Okay, so obviously this is the first time that Game Day has been here for a basketball game. How impressed are you with this turnout today?
It was awesome. And they were waiting out, some camped out a couple nights. It was super cool.
Okay,
Fired up for them.
so one thing that people like to say is this isn't a football school, this isn't a basketball school. I know what you say. It is a championship school. What exactly does that mean, Coach?
It means they win championships down here. We've won some SEC championships.
We're going this way.
We're going this way, my fault. It's football is one of those championships. Men's golf, women's golf, softball, and kind of gymnastics.
Yeah.
A lot of championships won in this place.
You guys have gotten the SEC handled. TBD on the national championship, but we'll see if you guys are able to get that this season. It's this year. Yeah, for sure. More Game Day with Coach coming up next.
Welcome back to College Game Day, covered by State Farm.
Alabama, Tennessee is the headliner tonight, but the GCAC tournament is here in Tuscaloosa. It's the NAIA's only HBCU conference basketball tournament. Games picking up at noon, just getting underway over at Stillman College. You know, this season in college basketball, the rankings have been an absolute chaos. 25 teams started ranked as we worked our way toward November. The number just kept growing. You'll recall that 54 different teams being ranked is the most we've ever had in the season. And by the turn of the new year, it was already up to 40. Numbers kept growing, got up to 45. And as we head toward March right now, a new team was added to make it number 50. The South Florida Bulls, one of the great resurgent stories of the season. Last year, 54 teams were ranked. By the end, the 50th team was St. Mary's. So we have another week of the regular season before the championship week to try to break that record. And on that subject, as we get to dudes of the day, USF's Chris Youngblood is my dude of the day, and he's a Tuscaloosa guy. Hometown here, he's averaging about 15 points per game there on the road at Charlotte. You can see it on ESPN+. He's my dude of the day.
My dude of the day is Coleman Hawkins of Illinois. He is a big guy that can step out and be a playmaker. He can score his last two games, 25 points a game, 16 of 24 from the floor.
My dude of the day is Boo Buie. He's going to lead Northwest to back-to-back NCAA tournaments. Plays his best in the biggest game, had 31 against Illinois and Purdue.
My dude of the day is him. He's him. His name is Mark Sears. You talk about Sear in the net, that's what he does. One of the best guards in this country. Tonight he's going to need a prolific game to beat the Bulls.
My dude of the day has a big matchup. It is Graham Ike for Gonzaga. He averages 17 and 7. Last 6 games, he's averaged 23 and 7 on almost 70% from the field. If they want to beat St. Mary's, he has to be that dude.
Look at this. America agrees with J-Will. 53%
That's right.
going for Mark Sears as the
clock is right twice a day, too.
Courageous choice.
He loves to play the hits. Now, this is the second time that Tennessee and Alabama have played. When they played back in January, Vols forced the Tide into a season-high 22 turnovers, scored a season-low 71 points. Tide averaging a little over 90 points per game. But in conference play, these guys have been unbeatable in this building, outscoring opponents by nearly 23 points per game and a perfect 16-0 during that span. And this game is huge. The winners share the SEC regular season title. You see the percentages. If Alabama wins, a 99% chance. If Tennessee wins, a 98% chance. And the architect of the Crimson Tide's high-powered offense in this resurgent program is Nate Oates. Glad to have you with us, Nate. So much of the season is built on March and the NCAA tournament. When you get a program rolling like this one, what's the significance of winning conference championships along the way?
I think it's the hardest one to win. It's 18 games. You got to do it night after night after night. You know, get in the middle of February and guys are tired, and you got to be able to motivate yourself to go on the road. And we were down significant just the last game at Ole Miss. They got to figure it out how to get a win. We're down, I think, 16 at Georgia. You know, those are the games. If you don't win those, you don't have a chance to win the league championship. So winning 6 games is obviously the ultimate thing in March, but winning the league championship over 18 or 20 or whatever
your league plays, it's hard to do. I think it's the hardest thing to do.
Nate, it's pretty well documented how important efficiency is to you, both your team and then individuals. And you've got a player that has not gotten enough attention for SEC Player of the Year, being a candidate for that and a favorite for it, and that's Mark Sears. And the improvement that he made from last year to this year, he was a really good player last year, but this year he's the only player in the country that's averaging over 20 points the only guard, 20 points per game, shooting 50% from the field. He's like over 40% from three. He shoots near 90% from the foul line. Where did the jump in efficiency come from him, and not just in production?
Yeah, I mean, he was our second leading scorer last year, and Brandon Miller was a pretty good player, as you know, in Charlotte. But, so to be the second leading scorer was pretty significant last year. But I think he made a big jump. He's more comfortable in the offense. He understands what shots we're looking for. A lot of guys transfer in here, and they're used to playing a different system and don't understand where they're going to get really efficient shots. He knows where. He knows how to get them. Knows how to play with the ball, without the ball. You watch those guys in the NBA that are efficient scorers. They're really good off the ball. Getting Aaron in here this year has really enabled him to play a little bit more without the ball and be even more efficient.
I think one of the things that is an epitome of this team is the fact that you have the green light for everybody on the three-point shot. Why is it important in your style, in your philosophy, to get up shots quickly from behind the arc?
Almost everybody.
Almost everybody, okay.
You'd have probably had it.
Maybe.
You and Jay would have had it. I didn't necessarily have it in college. I wished I'd have had it. So I tell these guys, man, if I had the green light like you did, I'd have fired up a lot more shots.
You had a guy come off the bench the other night, played 13 minutes, he got up 10 threes and made 5 of them. That's my kind of guy.
I love it. He was on the scout team the day before in practice. He was 11 for 22, so we got 22 up in practice. So, no, Davin's kept his confidence up all the time. But I think it's big to pump the guys full of confidence. As long as they're good shots, we're not passing up open threes. And, I get more mad when they pass up an open three than anything. It ends up in a turnover later in the possession most of the time. So we're looking for open layups, open threes, get to the free throw line. That's what we're looking for.
And you call yourselves a blue-collar program. So you give out at the end of every game, you pick a player that gets the hard hat, a construction hard hat. What do you have to do to get a hard hat?
So we've got blue-collar points that we tally up through the game, deflections, floor dives, charges, rebounds, rebound tips, all kinds of stuff that's not necessarily measured in a total box score, that's kind of dirty, grimy, blue-collar stuff on the construction site. So we try to do that. We've been top 3 in the country in defense 2 out of the last 3 years. Not this year. We're still working on getting our defense going this year, but we do emphasize playing hard for sure.
Reese gives out a white collar award. If your pocket square doesn't move, your hair is properly gelled.
He's got one hair coming down.
But that's something that'll never happen to him. It's one hair coming down.
I think that's a Muscle Shoals type of thing.
It is.
That's what it is.
Him and Mark Sears.
Well, Mark Sears knocked me down to the 394th best player ever to come out of Muscle Shoals because he's the best, and he pushed me way down the list. Nate, good luck tonight. Thanks for being with us. What a great scene. You've helped create here.
Our fans are the best. The Crimson Chaos, Roll Tide. Appreciate you guys having me on. Roll Tide.
Nate Oates, head coach at Alabama, Tennessee, and Alabama tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. Take a look at the Kansas Jayhawks. On the road, brought to you by Best Western. If you can't find lodging, you should look for yourself a Best Western. Best Western hasn't helped the Jayhawks if that's where they're staying. 2-5 away from Allen Fieldhouse this year, and they've got another challenge coming up at the top of the hour against Baylor. Fran Fraschilla now from Waco.
Coach, Kansas and Baylor are the 2 winningest programs in the Big 12 since 2011. What makes this such a great rivalry?
Well, it starts with the players. We both had great players, great staffs, and then Coach Self's a Hall of Fame coach. So they're not going to beat themselves. You got to beat them. They've done a great job in making the Big 12 nationwide recognized as a great conference. And then from top to bottom, that's what's made us elite. Everybody getting better to keep up with them.
You're relying on 2 very precocious freshmen. How would you assess the play of Misi and Walter?
Well, I think they've had a lot of experience during the year, and like most freshmen, you're going to have more ups and downs. Both of them are outstanding young men. They're very coachable. They want to get better, and this is March. Hopefully all those experiences now pay off, and they're playing the best basketball of this year now, and we can be more consistent because they're sophomores.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
These two programs each have national championships within the last 3 years. Kansas and Baylor, tip-off coming at the top, and Houston is threatening to pull away in the Big 12 with a big lead over both of these teams. Still plenty to play for in terms of seed lines, getting ready for the NCAA tournament, the Big 12 tournament. And there is Hunter Dickinson, who averages a big double-double.
It's going to be interesting to see how Kansas plays against that Baylor zone. Baylor playing way more zone their last 3 games. Seth and I were talking about it being an amoeba zone. But Hunter Dickinson, KJ Adams catching the ball in the middle of that zone and making plays is going to be critical.
I mean, this is the guy for me that's going to make a huge difference for Kansas. He didn't play in the first matchup when they played in Lawrence. Kevin McCullough, triple-double watch. The way he defends, the way he facilitates, his size, his physicality, his leadership. He'll be big, especially on the road.
And Fran Fraschilla telling us earlier from Bill Self that McCullough's going to give it a go.
Yep.
And the guy that's probably most excited that Kevin McCullough's playing is right there, Johnny Furphy, because he moves down in terms of the scattering point. When you play Kansas, it's Dickinson, it's McCullough. Now Furphy gets that third defender, which will free him up a little bit.
And has struggled at times on the road. You expect that with freshmen, but he's going to have a big game, or at least a really good game at Baylor if Kansas wants to win this one on the road.
There's DeJuan Harris. Speaking of struggling on the road, Kansas.
Well, when you talk about having a point guard, one thing that Kansas struggled with against Baylor was Baylor struggled with their turnovers last time against Kansas. Like DeJuan Harris, KJ Adams, the defensive energy that they bring on the ball causes a lot of problems.
Yeah, then you got Jacoby Walter, who is one of the most talented players in all college basketball. You've been seeing him come into his own more offensively the last couple of games, being a little bit more aggressive. But JB, make no means about it, like him and Ray J. Dennis together, they're one heck of a defensive backcourt.
Yeah, and Ray J. Dennis, Jacoby Walter, to your point, last 2 games, he's averaging about 19 a game, 8 of 18 from 3. Got off to a really slow start in Big 12 play, shooting the ball, but one of the best shooters in the country. I think this guy, Ray J. Dennis, is the key to everything today. In the first game against Kansas, he only had 3 points, turned the ball over 6 times, had 7 assists. He's leading the league in assists, but he's got to have a better performance against DeJuan Harris.
I think Jalen Bridges has been terrific for this Baylor team. He gives them kind of instant offense. He can stretch the defense, knocks down the 3, rebounds the ball, is an experienced defender, whether they're man or zone. I think he needs to come up big for Baylor to win tonight.
There's a big fella in the middle for the Bears.
Yves Missi is the next great big guy in the Big 12 going forward. Explosive athletically, a big-time rebounder, a lob threat, rolling to the basket. He is really hard to stop. They can just throw it up to him. It's going to be a challenge with Dickinson, but this guy's going to be an outstanding player.
Both of these teams sitting right around that 3 and 4 seed line in projection, so a significant game for both of them. And this is Avion Cooley, a freshman from Colorado Springs, trying to knock down the State Farm half-court shot for 19 grand.
College Game Day is covered by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Might be a good idea to head over to Ram Jammas for lunch coming up in a bit and later on today. Don't forget NBA Countdown. We'll get you ready for the Nuggets and the Lakers coming up later tonight on ABC at 8:30 Eastern Time. College basketball Saturday already underway. You know, South Carolina's only game back in the loss column behind Tennessee and Alabama. Colin Murray Boyles with the stuff at home, but Walter Clayton Jr., of his 2 buckets in the first half, and Florida has a 37-31 lead at the break. It is time for the State Farm half-court shot. $19,000 at stake. 19 seconds on the shot clock, and the 19,000 represents the 19,000 State Farm agents across North America. This is Avion Cooley. He's a freshman here at Alabama from Colorado Springs. Try to stay behind the line. Get up as many shots as you can in 19 seconds. And let's get this money. Let's get this money. Here we go. Clock's on the Come on, baby. Come on now. That's all. That's all. Okay, come on. You got it. You got it. That's all.
Keep going. You got it.
Stay the mission.
He's got some
Come on, stay up straight.
There it is. There it is. There it is.
Come on, get there. Now. One more. Come on.
Come on, Avion. You got it.
That's not it.
This is it. This is it. This is it.
Let's go. Let's go, baby. Get this money. Just like last week.
Come on, Avion.
Give this man his money.
We got it in the pressure frame.
The Karate Kid. The Karate Kid.
Now, Avion, tell my colleagues here, they're calling you Karate Kid, which it is, but you just celebrated with the old Crimson Crane, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Had to represent. Let's go.
What are you going to do with that 19 grand?
I have no clue, honestly.
$19,000, man. Congratulations. Avion Kuba. Hey, let's have a good look at this check here, guys. Look at that. How about that for some NIL? Right there. Let's go. Let's go. And how about that for the second straight week? We have a buzzer beater on the last shot. Third winner of the year.
It puts pressure on Duke Carolina. They better not miss that on Duke. We better not miss.
All right, let's see what we've got. It's time for our Saturday game picks brought to you by Continental Tire. Game coming up next on ABC, Kansas and Baylor. Seth?
Baylor's going to that 1-1-3 matchup zone. I think it's really good. It keeps people off balance. It's difficult to prepare for. I think that Baylor wins at home.
It's been hard to get wins on the road. Baylor's three-point shooting. You mentioned their defense. I've got Baylor winning this one.
I think Misi's going to have a different game against Hunter Dickinson down low, especially with the way they play that zone. Even with Kevin McCullough back, I got Baylor winning.
Yeah, I think Ray J. Dennis has the chance to be the difference in this game. Leader in the league in assists. He just can't turn it over. I think Baylor wins at home.
Really good game in the Big East. Let's be quick on it, though. Marquette and Creighton.
Creighton at home, that's a hard place to play. They say the fans get a little rowdy and have had a couple of dope beverages before the game. But Creighton is a terrific defensive team. I think Creighton stifles this Marquette team.
Creighton on senior day, I've got Creighton at home.
Tyler Kolek with that oblique injury, I think him having that, I think Creighton wins the game at home.
I like Creighton as well. They got three guys averaging over 17 points a game, and Ryan Kalkbrenner is a rim protector lob threat. He's outstanding.
And the game that is on ESPN tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, right here in Coleman Coliseum. First place in the SEC on the line, Tennessee, Bama.
Yeah, we know that Nate Oates is an offensive savant. We know this team can score 100 points in a heartbeat. But as Jay Billis would say, the defense never rests Tennessee. Too physical, too tough. I think Tennessee is a Final Four team. I got Tennessee.
And I think the way Tennessee handled Kentucky on the road in rough, so sorry, guys, I got to go with Tennessee.
Look, I think Tennessee's a Final Four team. They're a team that can win a national championship. This game, we're on a neutral side or back at Tennessee. I'll go Tennessee. But this place has something different. And I'm going to lean into Alabama. Find a way to get this game here.
A tennis match?
No,
it's not a tennis match
tonight. Not tonight.
It's one of these jobs.
They put me wrong.
It's one of these jobs.
Let's go. Let's go.
Plenty of that tonight. Starting
Keep going.
Eastern Time. Jenny not making a pick. He will be on the call on ESPN with Dan Schulman and Jess Sims. Alabama and Tennessee. What a morning it's been in Tuscaloosa. Gave away 19 grand again. Enjoy your college basketball Saturday. Kansas Baylor right now on ABC.
All right, Reese. Well, and Hunter Dickinson